Hi! How Girlypop is your main in Marvel Rivals? TLDR, I have like so many things happening during the holidays, birthdays, Christmas, my birthday, New Year's, this, that, and the other, that I tend to just like take the end of the year off. And I've been gone for a minute. And Marvel Rivals has been taking up a lot of my free time because you know me, I'm a gamer. Like, if I have any idle time, I'm gonna be logging into a game. I heard that the girls were playing it. I was like, it's like Marvel though. Like, I don't really get into Marvel like that. But when I got on, I understood what was going on. If y'all don't like me ranting, please just skip to the chapter where you want to see it. Because, girl, I haven't talked to y'all in a minute. I want to talk. I feel like I'm starting to become kind of a Marvel fan. Like, this game is really fun. It's been this. So today we're going to talk about how Girlypop each and every one of the cast members of Marvel Rivals are. But before we get started, I want to thank everybody in the Girlypop Research Fund. The Girlypop Research Fund is our YouTube membership, and it's a direct way to support me and this project as we dig further and further into Girlypopology. So truly, thank every single one of you so much for helping me get this far, because when new games like this come out and I'm able to make content about it, I am just so happy. Like, I really am living my dream. So thank you. Starting off with Doctor Strange, I just think that there's an energy about him. It's that smize in his face. Like, he's so...
I'm opening a portal.
It's all very high concept, very weird, very unique. When you get into the cosmetics, one thing I really love is if you zoom in, let's let him do his thing. If you zoom in, girl, he's giving you smiles. Like Tyra Banks, who? It's the facial hair game. I love a manicured facial hair moment, and I love that the time and effort that was put into giving him different sort of mustaches, goatees, beards. This one right here, girl, if I could grow a beard, it would look like this. Even on the field, the portals, the shield, the sound effects that you get with the shield, him floating up, him shooting those little things out of his fingers. He commands the stage. He has a presence. He has theatrics. He has the look. I'm gonna say that Doctor Strange for Vanguard is in Girlypop territory. Okay, Miss Penny, this one's gonna be a little bit difficult because I think from first glance, you want to like her. She's really cute, but she misses in a lot of ways for me. I think first and foremost, with this game being a hero shooter the way it is, it constantly being compared to Overwatch, even though I think like they're both free to play games, like girl, if you are getting into arguments on the internet talking about, oh, you play Overwatch, oh, you play Marvel Rivals, girl, get off the internet, go touch grass, because they're both free to play, they're both very fun. But I'm sorry, this concept, you immediately want to compare it to Diva.
Okay, I challenge you. I mean, who does it better, you or me?
And I just think that Diva is the girl. It's really, really dangerous to be putting Peni Parker in the way that she looks and acts. Because I'm always like, oh, that's Diva, but Diva did it better. I think the thing that makes it so difficult for me to like Penny, I really wish that I could turn down some heroes' voice lines. I'm not saying that the voice actress should be dogged. I'm not saying anything. It's just the way that it like, whenever she does her ultimate, it like sits above the rest of the audio, and it's like so, the cosmetics, I don't like this look. I don't like this look. I don't like it. I like a chic, sleek, like Evangelion moment. I do like the bot, but her gameplay is really fun. I think that if you're doing a hero shooter and you're trying to go for like a girly pop aesthetic, I like that she's kind of like moving home base. Like, she's always creating a safe zone. I think that gameplay is really fun. It's super fun to see her building things out. It's like, it's unexpected, it's unique. It allows for a lot of expression from the player. All that being said, I'm gonna say that Penny is okay, because I don't know. I just can't like give her a pass just because she looks so much like Diva. And honestly, because she looks so much like Diva, I'm like, you have some big shoes to fill. I promise I'm not gonna like compare every single character to an Overwatch character. I'm just saying, if you're jumping into this lane, if you're going as hard as Penny did, I can't help but look at the source material. I really can't. Magneto. Okay, boring character. I'm immediately like wanting to skip, but let's get into the cosmetics real quick because honestly, I don't give him a lot of time of day. Honestly, the hair, I like how he looks here. very handsome, honestly, with the shaggy, like sort of outgrown hair coming out of the helmet. Yeah, it's giving manly pop for sure. But that's really the only thing that I have for him. This one look, I'm gonna give him. I gotta put him in looks around. I gotta put him in looks around. He just doesn't have a lot of presence on the field, not a lot of theatrics. It's really just like not fun to play him or to be playing against him. Like there's no excitement. He's just like very much like utility based tank. The Hulk, or as I like to call him, Twink Death Simulator. Now the Hulk is an iconic character, but I think as time has gone on and we have just been marveled out in the zeitgeist, like the culture is just sick of Marvel movies. I honestly like I'm a big nerd, I'm a big gamer, but anytime something Marvel related has come out, I'm just kind of averse to it because there's just too much. Disney is turning it out too much. It feels cynical, it feels corporate, it feels like there's no expression anymore, right? The Hulk was like the beginning of that. Like I remember back in the day when I was just a little baby in a little tiny pink wig, I was watching the Hulk and I was like, oh, okay. I do like he's cute. But the thing is like all the characters in here are cute. And shout out to the artists and like the 3D modelers and all the animators and stuff like that because they really breathed new life into Marvel, in my opinion. Like I was even averse to Marvel Rivals until I saw it blowing up. I saw some of the girly pops in my community and like around me like playing it. I was like, okay. I was just gonna play it just for a little bit and then one thing leads to another and I'm like 20 hours in maining Psylocke like girl where'd the time go? That being said, Bruce is a cutie pie. I do like the fact that like he has a lot of dynamics and expression on the field. It's just like the Hulk. I'm waiting for more. And when I want more, I look at the costumes and the costumes, I will give credit where it's due. I appreciate that like they went far enough to give us like a new form of his like bigger Hulk form, right? But then when it comes to Bruce, like I just want something cute and this looks awkward. I will say I would look exactly like this if I dressed that way too. So like maybe I'm just projecting and feeling a little bit insecure when I see him because we're both shaped the same. But I guess what I'm asking for is like because we are so familiar with the Hulk, we can go crazy with it. Like I would have liked to see him get something like super girly pop, super cutesy. Like it would be kind of cute if he had like this is me being me, but like I could definitely see him like in a pink pajama set and then like the Hulk has like pink polka dot pajama pants. You get what I'm saying? Like I feel like that is where we can take Bruce. We're not seeing that yet. What I'm seeing right now, the direction they're going is like brutalist big monster World of Warcraft. I'm gonna put the Hulk just because of the overexposure and the lack of like cosmetics and looks. You know what? He's gonna be an okay. He's gonna be an okay because when you do fight against him and when you're fighting as him, there is performance there. It is exciting. Like when I'm playing the game and I see a Hulk, I'm like, ooh, is he gonna transform? Has he already transformed? Is he gonna Hulk out? Like what's gonna happen? There's excitement there. There's always something new. So I'll put him in okay. A weak okay. Now Miss Groot plays one note, but she plays it really well. It's been like 3 movies. I don't get into the comics, but there's probably like 50 comics. So much merchandise and media, but Groot, the I am Groot.
I am Groot!
I am Groot.
I am Groot!
I am Groot.
I am Groot!
It works every time. Like they say in comedy, like you're only supposed to say the joke 3 times. Groot doesn't know what that means. Also, him being like the May mechanics where you're like building walls, but it's just every time you see Groot, like you really do feel like you are fighting a treant. Like he creates a domain, and that is theatrics in itself. Like there's walls everywhere. Like there's so many walls that can actually work against your team, and I like that. I like that you're given the ability to express him so powerfully because Groot really is like a tank. Groot has like very cool and unique specific abilities that makes him stand out in the movies and in the comics, and I love that you get to be able to like step into those shoes because it's such a unique Marvel character. The cosmetics. This is fine. He's thick. This is like your friend when they finally got onto creatine. This is like them 1 week on creatine, girl. Like that's all water weight. I do like the Santa moment. Like this honestly gives fashion. Like let's take ourselves out of the fact that it's like tree, right? Imagine if this was just like a sort of like frilly, it's the thing that cowboys wear. I'll put a picture up on the screen. That sort of fabric, that sort of texture. Imagine pants made of that with just like a brown cowboy boot, right? And just like grow out the beard or put a prosthetic beard or put like a beard wig on, wig eyebrows. Like this is giving like high fashion Santa Claus, and I'm into it. I'm into it. So with all that being said, Groot is girly pop, honey. Very girly pop. Like this is, if you actually, when we're thinking about the vanguards, I think Groot is actually a mother vanguard. Like it's just, it gives, I don't know, it gives what it needs to give. Captain America. I have always felt this way about Captain America, right? Let me explain. When I had first heard, I remember like just being young and I heard that a Captain America movie was coming out. I was like, what do you even do with that? He's just like a dude with a shield. I just think that this concept is like kind of boring boots. I was watching one TikToker who was getting into Marvel Rivals and he was like, girl, you fight with a paper plate.
Captain, you can get it too. You got a damn paper plate as a weapon, bitch.
Especially for like looking for pageantry, performance, looks, there's not a lot to do with it. Credit where credit is due. His ultimate, while I never see anybody using it well, or I don't even really know like the useful tech for it, I do like the concept of it. I like that he announces himself and he starts charging in. Like, I mean, if you're going to be Captain America, you're going to have to give Captain America, and that gives Captain America. It's like, let's charge in and colonize and create an empire and not think about the consequences. This moment here, I mean, he's giving body, he's giving, you know, hunky, but I just immediately think of the category he's in, Vanguard. I just think that Doctor Strange is doing it better. You know, like, don't. So let's just say Captain America looks around. Venom. Now, Venom's going to be an interesting conversation. I need my girly pops to lock in. I don't know about you, but it feels like my entire 20s, I feel as though I have been inundated with some new form of Spider-Man media every single year. And I keep asking myself, so why do we like it that much? Out of all the Marvel characters, why Spider-Man? This much Spider-Man, right? So anything related to Spider-Man, I'm a little bit averse. That being said, I think that Venom really does what Venom needs to do. Venom has an aura about him. Venom has a history. Even for a layman's like me, somebody who doesn't get super into Marvel lore, I understand that Venom is like corruption. It's beastly. It's scary. And what I love is that when he is on the field as a hero shooter, it's fully expressed. Like this is a risky territory to be in with Marvel Rivals, because you're asking developers, artists, animators, all these people to create a simulation of all of these famous Marvel characters and some DC characters and fully express them in a way where the cinema and the drama is captured. And I think that Venom captures that drama, honey. Even when I'm fighting against him, yes, I'm scared for my life, but I love to see what a Venom player is going to do. Like, it's the corruption, it's him putting those tendrils out, it's the ultimate, we are Venom. It's like, girl, that's Venom. Let's get into the cosmetics, because the cosmetics takes it further for me. Let's be real, I'm talking about girly pop. I'm looking for cutesy, something soft, something a little bit femme. But I do think that girly pops have the space to understand a serve when we see it.
I didn't know that was happening.
I'm liking the skins that I see. This is a recent skin that I think just came out for like Christmas or whatever, and we've seen one with Groot too. But like, come on, like if you're gonna try to capture Venom, this is a cool skin. And like, I know that like his tendril pieces, like you see that blue coming out of his back, it like adds like a new color story that I think is really pretty, low-key. Like it looks like ice and like water waves and things like that. This one I'm a little bit bored with, but I love this recolor of the default skin. Like, I don't know, it gives high fashion to me in a weird roundabout way. I think that Venom in the category of Vanguard is really unique. It's giving a serve. It's giving the girls a show every single time. I'm putting Venom in girly pop. Last but not least, or maybe least, Thor. Thor, I think, I mean, just get into the, yeah, I mean, we can't say that we don't like Thor. I see my analytics.
Let's just be real. Let's be transparent. It's a safe space.
We don't dislike Thor, if you get what I'm saying. But in terms of the serve, I do think that, like, I've seen my fair share of, like, Avengers movies, and I think that Thor has a lot of personality that isn't seen in Marvel Rivals. Maybe the Hollywood interpretation of Thor is not the correct interpretation of Thor, because this Thor just feels like stoic to a fault. I don't know. There's one moment where he kind of like starts floating and he's like shooting electricity. I kind of like that moment, but because it's so understated in comparison to all these other girls like screaming at the top of their lungs, blowing things up, shooting fireworks and all this stuff, like he kind of gets lost in the sauce. And I get really into how a game like expresses its effects. Quick tangent, but like Final Fantasy XIV has been doing a lot of things to adjust how each class expresses their effects, and when all players are expressing their classes or expressing their characters with those specific effects, how does it all look when it's all together? What kind of picture can it create? What kind of combinations can you create with all these visual effects and particles? I just think that like Thor gets lost in everything that we've seen. When we're looking at the cosmetics, in all honesty, this was the one that I was like kind of hoping for you know, I mean, like I said, we can't dislike Thor. We really can't dislike Thor. With like the Hulk and Thor, these very much overexposed characters, and they have a reason to be overexposed. They're really exciting characters. We need like comedy, because we've seen how serious they can be. We've seen how strong they can be. I want comedy. I want to see a cutesy kawaii pajama look for Thor. I think the girls would be really into that. I think that we would buy it. The other ones, like this is, I do like how laid the hair is. Oh my goodness. And the pink little ties on it. Oh, wait a minute. And then he's giving like, you know, dusty sandy blonde here. And his hair really is kind of luscious, too. Okay, I'm gonna put Thor in okay. As a Vanguard, I see potential. Starting off with the duelists, let's talk about Magik. It's that sickening bang. I don't know how to express this, but I know that I'm within good company. Let's zoom in on the bang. Yes, give us a pose, thank you. I love a girl that has like a thick bang. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but like the shape of this wig here, it's very much top heavy because I love a thick bang. There's something so like transgressive and rocker chick about it. Her look also, I love that she looks like a dark like emo rocker chick Valkyrie. Body is tea. Like, I know that it's probably not possible for me, but I would love to be shaped like her one day. Like every single time I work out, I think about Magik now because I'm like, God, if I looked like that. Her also being able to transform into this like sickening World of Warcraft moment. Come on now. Like, I'm a big gamer. I'm a big fantasy nerd. And this is just like, yes. I love this. This look right here. I love paladins. And I love when I see paladins have a crown motif. Talking about Final Fantasy XIV again. In early Final Fantasy XIV, a lot of the design concepts in the costumes that they were giving the paladin job had a crown motif, and I love that. I just think that that's so cool. Look at how they do the bang. Once again, the bang has a different expression. I love that the bang is part of her look. You can't do Magik without a bang. You have to talk about the bang. Like, if we're doing a new Magik look, we have to talk about the bang. The platinum blonde with just the hints of iciness. It's just gorgeous. And then look at the hair. This is fully thought out. Like, this is gorgeously designed. This one is kind of interesting because what they do, and y'all know me, I love a hat. What they've done is they've actually used the hat to create a hair shape. Notice this. You don't see her forehead still. The bang isn't hair, it's an accessory, but it's still part of the silhouette. When you're constructing the image of Magik, you have to talk about the bang. I do like that we get different forms. Like, Bruce gets this too, what with their transformation getting a different form. I think that's really creative. I love the jacket here, honestly. There's parts of this that I don't like, and I think it's because it's got to be compared to this one right here, but it's still pretty good. She kind of like moves to the beat of her own drum. There's a frantic pacing to Marvel Rivals. There's a lot of really fast characters, there's a lot of really slow characters, and she's kind of somewhere in the middle. Her being able to use that sword too and being like so melee focused in the same lane of Iron Fist, but still expressing it so differently. I love that. She's a really unique character. Her being one of the girls, her having bangs being part of the conversation. I think it's safe to say that Magik as a duelist is mother. Yeah, definitely mother. Iron Man. So let me just, y'all know how I get. I can't just like talk about one thing. I have to extrapolate it into weird ways because that's just how my brain works. Marvel is like Pokemon. It's like Sanrio. It has like a huge pantheon cast of characters that a lot of people identify with. And I think that the story of Iron Man has been tainted, what with the scourge of really just like attention-seeking tech bros. I don't want to dog tech altogether. And I know that opening up this can of worms on this very casual video is really strange, but this is just how I am as a person. Tech has created Marvel Rivals and I'm having a good time with it, right? So there's nuance to it. But then we have some people who will like attach themselves to this sort of like personality and moment, and it really makes characters like this feel icky. Like Iron Man, I'm sorry, feels like Elon Musk. I'm not saying that that's what they're trying to capture with it. It's just that like you can tell that like some people will like parade themselves around thinking that they're a Tony Stark, and they're not giving anything of the sort. Like Tony Stark used to be so cool, but now every time I see him, I just can't help but think of like, I don't know. Let's get into the cosmetics. Another thing that like makes it hard, the cosmetics. It's just Iron Man, literally with it being like an armor bodysuit and also seeing like the different expressions of Peni. Why is this like what we get base? You know, this is just like very boring. And I think that maybe the looks could take me further. And you know what? We're talking about another overexposed Marvel hero like Bruce, like Thor. I need looks from you. On the field, he kind of is the queen of the sky. Really and truly. Like, we're going to talk about Storm later, but I do like that they captured the flying appropriately. When I do fly around as Iron Man, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm Iron Man. Like being able to like do the missile barrage as you're flying and doing the transformations and all that stuff. There's a lot of satisfying elements to his execution, but he doesn't do anything to distract me from the story that his character is unfortunately just like swallowed up by. I'm putting Iron Man in looks around. Iron Fist. So I turned 29 as of recording today. One of the goals that I've been like really getting into is like working out. I mean, obviously, as I'm looking towards 30 and the rest of my life, I want to be healthy, I want to be fit, I want to be strong, but I also want to look really good. And I'm saying like this is body goals. If it's not Magik, I want it to be Iron Fist. It's kind of campy. His presence on the field is very camp. Him being able to like literally attach to someone else's hitbox and just pummel them. He's like every time an Iron Fist is, if it's two Iron Fists, it's even worse. Every time I see an Iron Fist on the field, it's like I turn my camera and he's over there. I turn my camera and he's over there. Iron Fist is always doing something, and every time he shows up on a 1v1 duel, I'm like, please, girl, go away. It's like, it's funny. Like, I'm running away, I'm running for my life because there's no way you're gonna beat an Iron Fist. This character is broken in the right hands, but it's hilarious. It's really hilarious every single time. Let's get into the cosmetics. He's giving cute. He's giving... Look at y'all saw the look he gave. He knows who he is. I love the confidence. I love this sort of cleavage moment. Like, this is a served down, honey. And a lot of girls are mad. I'm gonna put Iron Fist in Girlypop. Girlypop, yeah, Girlypop. Hela. I wanted to like Hela. But I don't. I really don't. Let's look into the cosmetics because I actually don't know a lot about her cosmetics. I like the cape. And this one, I've seen this one a lot. I think this is part of like the battle pass or something. This one's cute. This is very pretty. I love the hair. I love the hair in Marvel Rivals. I love that, like, I know it's really, really hard to animate hair and like make it run well on games, but I think that they solved this by just making it like thick and chunky, girl. Like, this is like heavy hair, and I love how that looks. I love how like the inside is kind of like see-through. She's looking really gorgeous. Yeah, beautiful silhouette there. She's kind of like Thor in the sense that like her presence on the field is a little bit understated. I know that like right now a lot of people are playing her because she's really, really strong right now. And it's really interesting, like with the amount of people that I see playing her, I really don't get anything. Being who she is, having her personality, having that really grand, like almost drag queen silhouette, I expect a lot, and I'm not really getting a lot other than, I don't know, just like the first impression. This might be controversial, but I'm gonna have to put Hela in okay. Hawkeye. First impression, I was like, oh, this is a circuit queen. I love gay people, right? He's really gorgeous. He gives, look, like, get into this. Like, you can't tell me that's not a circuit queen. As a sniper, I hate to do it, but he reminds me a lot of Hanzo. And Hanzo had like a very campy execution. Like, even though this sniper with the bow and arrow is meant to be understated because snipers are supposed to have that sort of personality type, he doesn't really have anything. Extremely strong character. I mean, like, he's basically throwing logs at you on the field. Like, every single time everyone's having a good time, somebody brings out a Hawkeye, and then suddenly everyone's not having a good time. I'm kind of bored of Hawkeye too. Like, if Hela's gonna be in okay, then Hawkeye needs to be in looks around. Black Widow. I want Black Widow to be in Mother, but she won't. She won't be in Mother. It's just difficult. It's really difficult. The duelist, I think, especially in a hero shooter like the DPS class, the job that's supposed to be the one that's dealing the damage, they get the most high concepts. They get the most like expression opportunity. So they're in comparison to a lot of other ones. You know, like when people are queuing in as duelists, there's so many different concepts. And unfortunately, like, Black Widow really struggles to show her personality, to show her divaness that we know that she has. I think that this is going to be the same story as it was with like Widowmaker in Overwatch 2. Look, I'm sorry that I keep referencing Overwatch in this video, not because I think that they're like the same game. They really are not. Anybody who's played Overwatch for a long enough time, I've played since like the beta, they're not the same game. But there's a lot of similarities because they're both within a similar field. This story is going to be the same story as Widowmaker. Widowmaker was a little bit more in the background because I feel like in order to learn the sniper, like the pure sniper, because she is the pure sniper of this game so far, it takes time for those players to learn the ins and outs of being the most efficient with her. Like, y'all have to really face so many different scenarios in order to really understand her problem solving capabilities, because that's really what the sniper is. It's like setting yourself up in the right spot to be the most efficient as possible. And right now we're still learning. There's a lot of potential here. I love the stance. I love like look at the shoe, right? How like the shoe, like I love when a shoe looks like that. This look is really gorgeous too. Like, it just gives like simple, like, she's just like really that girl. Like, you don't have to do anything crazy like Hela. Like, she's just that's just Black Widow. Like, she's always been that girl. She's always been that bad. On the field, she does have a little bit of presence because, like, I think with her being extremely understated and having such like tactical analog abilities, like her sprint and her jumping and her red, like the shots of red that you see from her, it's very much like Widowmaker. Like, you see her when you see her, and if you don't see her, she's gonna see you. I like her, and I think the Girlypops like her too. I think we know who she is, and we're waiting for her moment. This is also gonna be a little bit contentious, I think, but Widow is gonna be in Girlypop. She's Girlypop. Scarlet Witch. Now, I know the girls who clicked on this video were waiting for this discussion, and I've been waiting for it too. Do I play Scarlet Witch? No. But does she give what she needs to give? Yes. Yes, yes. A lot of Marvel kind of feels like almost military-esque a lot of the times, right? But she gives like magic and fantasy, but still is able with her look and her expression to give something different. Like she feels high magic. She feels like she's like tapping into like an ancient source. The way that she walks, the way that she flies around, her shouts, her screams, her skills, it's all very witchy. That she literally looks and acts like a witch on the field. And I just, kudos to the animators, kudos to the artists, kudos to the people who are really constructing that image. I play a lot of Psylocke, right? So I do like to mess around with the Scarlet Witches. Like if they're messing with my team, I'm gonna go like sneak up on them. And like even when they're flying away, I'm like, where is she going? Like, what's that player, like what is that player going to do next? Because it's really exciting for me. Scarlet Witch is the character that made me realize that the hair game in Marvel Rivals is really tea. Like I don't even get to play this game at like ultra settings because like my computer is not powerful enough, and even then they gave the girls with like lower budget systems hair. Like look at that, like oh my goodness, could you imagine if you woke up with hair like that? You couldn't tell me anything. We have hair, makeup, brows, like she's so pretty. Yeah, this one's good too. They're all good. They're all good. The cosmetics give what they need to give. Scarlet Witch is definitely Mother, for sure. So the Punisher in many ways feels just like homophobic. And if we're talking about Girlypop, that alone is going to be working against him in many ways. I don't know why. I was having like a quick little conversation on TikTok about the Punisher, and I had this like I mentioned that. And people were like, no, the Punisher's not like that. The Punisher's not like that. Where I come from, if you see a Punisher like sticker decal on the back of someone's truck, that tells you everything you need to know about this character and the story that they're trying to tell and the people they're trying to attract. Maybe like recent iterations, somewhere I missed it, they're like rewriting the narrative of the Punisher. But the Punisher has a long, long legacy that he still needs to work against. Let's get into the cosmetics. Yeah, it's just giving like military dads fantasy. Oh, camo. I'm just gonna put Punisher and skip. Okay, we're talking about my favorite character, Psylocke. I think you guys can know why. I mean, we look literally the same. This is groundbreaking to me. For the longest time, Genji in like the hero PvP gameplay format has been just ruining it for anybody who likes stealth. Nobody likes Genji. Nobody likes Genji. And I'm not even saying that I like stealth. What I like about Psylocke is not only did she rewrite the narrative, but she rewrote it in the most femme way possible. Like, Psylocke is one of those characters that made me want to understand where she comes from, because to see a Marvel character be front and center in one of their mainline games that has come out, and she has all of these like Girlypop motifs, these butterflies, she has these butterfly masks, it's all purple and lavender and pinky. It's so Girlypop coded that I'm like, how did she manage to do this? Because normally in games like this, you don't get a girl that's this girly girl. I love it. And I love that they put this kind of personality onto the character that's normally supposed to be for like the edgelord stealth lovers. I don't even like stealth, but I've been loving playing Psylocke because she has like, she sprouts butterfly wings. Like, okay, enough about that. We know where she's going. Psylocke is in Mother. The Black Panther. This is the closest that I think we're ever going to get to playing Halle Berry's Catwoman in Marvel Rivals. And I know it's a Marvel game, but they have DC characters in it. All I'm saying is I don't think any of us would be mad if we eventually got Halle Berry's Catwoman, but this is the closest that we're gonna get. His gameplay style is quite straightforward and easy to understand, and it's quite satisfying too. It just gives Catwoman to me. Like, I know that this is Black Panther, but I see Catwoman. Even look at the nails, like get into the nails. He's even showing the nails. The expression on the field sometimes is hit or miss. I think his ultimate is kind of like lame. I don't think that we have to have, actually, I think we do need to have a conversation about the cosmetics because that's actually really pretty. But the one thing that we don't need to talk about is this here, girl. Like, I want to say that I don't know who they're going for with this costume, but he's not the only one that I've seen. I'm like, there's something sweet in the air about this costume design. Miss Panther is okay. Speaking of sweet, here we are with Queen Namor. I know that when he puts his like octopi out, he says protect your king. I want someone to put a mod in that says protect your queen. This is the moment here. You know that you are that girl when a skin releases and world stop. Like, this is elevated. This is an elevated gay man. We started with the engineer in like TF2, and then we go to like Overwatch with Torbjorn, and now we're here with Namor, and I'm sure that there's others that have come out. But I think that his gameplay is actually like really fun and cute. I love that you hear like a little whistle. I don't know if that's like a reference to the movies or the comics or something. I love that you hear like a little whistle when he like hits something and his like summons start going faster. It's like definitely giving like SeaWorld, like he feels like a SeaWorld trainer or something like that. There's like a comedy to it. It doesn't take itself too seriously. So I'm gonna put Ms. Namor in I'll put him in Girlypop. I kind of want to put him in Mother, but I'm looking at the mothers and it's not quite there. Moon Knight has a bit of queen activities too. The first thing that I want to say is I think it's this cosmetic here that's getting us a little bit confused. Like, I actually kind of like this costume. I think it's like kind of pedestrian, but it's also like really clean and like, I don't know, it's like very handsome at the same time. It's the field expression. After people have started to understand how to play him, he looks really cool when he's in play. Like whenever Moon Knight gets a kill on me, I'm like not even mad because it's always like every time you get the replay, it's always like a finesse. He's like flying around, he's using like it kind of gives Batman sometimes, but I don't mind it. He really just like is like, you'll look up in the sky and he's like floating around, he's putting an ankh down, he's like shooting his little moon thingies around. The ultimate is kind of lame, but everything else is like really interesting, really unique, and I love to see a Moon Knight in play. He's also like a little bit funny. Like whenever you play as him or you have him on the team and they do the voice lines where they're kind of like giving like flavor text and stuff, he doesn't take himself seriously. And I think like comedy is really, really effective when you're doing such like a strong combative heroes versus villains kind of moment. You gotta have a little bit of something to break the ice, and he breaks the ice a lot. I think that maybe my subjectivity is coming into play. So I'm gonna put Moon Knight in okay. Wolverine. I wanted to like Wolverine. I do kind of like Wolverine. I still kind of like Wolverine. I wanted to like playing him, but I don't really like playing him. So it kind of makes it hard for me. And a lot of people don't play him enough. I think that he's kind of like a cutie pie. I think it's maybe the sideburns. I think he's really unique in the sense that like he is like always going to tackle and like scratch on the tanks or whoever gets into his like claws. As a berserker, I think that that's like a really funny thing to do because even though he's like bulky and strong and like really thick, the way that he like sort of runs around on the field is kind of like a Wolverine, like a sort of like scrappy sort of animal. It's the costumes. I think that Wolverine has the ability to give us something more, and we just haven't gotten that yet. I mean, we know this costume, but I've never liked the costume. I honestly think that this costume might have contributed to him like being a little bit of like a dud. I just don't like the way this looks. I think like having the hair is actually a lot more cool. He's supposed to be like a wild berserker, so having the hair, making him look a little bit less clean, really helps us to understand who he is, and I want us to lean more into that. That being said, right now, in terms of performance, in terms of representation, in terms of the looks, Wolverine right now is looks around, and I say that because I worry that he's not actually going to get the chance to move up. Like if I felt like he had a chance, it would be in okay, but based off of like how he's been treated so far, based off the conversations I've had, based off of like what I see, it's like we're already forgetting about him, and I think that's really unfortunate. Storm, this might be a hot take, but I think we all love Storm for who she is, but I think this character really needs a rework. I'm not even talking about like the meta or anything. Whenever she's involved in team fights, whenever she's involved on the field, I don't understand how she's supposed to fit into it. I don't know. Especially with Iron Man being like the queen of the skies, it's like she's really like lost a lot of her presence. The cosmetics, I mean, she's Storm. She's always been gorgeous. We've always loved her. These look great. This is honestly kind of cool. I always say that I don't like it, and then I look back and like this moment in the back is really pretty. Like, she's so pretty. She gives visual. I don't know. There's something that I'm missing when she's involved in the team fights. I don't know. I feel like Storm is supposed to feel as though she's like a cloud coming in to wreak havoc, that she's about to create a domain and like spread lightning and wind everywhere, but it doesn't feel like that when she's there. The theatrics are really, really poorly executed in my opinion. I'm gonna say Storm is okay. She's okay. The Weeknd, I mean, Star-Lord. You know what really sucks about this guy? It's the fact that he was introduced to the zeitgeist via Chris Pratt's personality, and I've always felt like Chris Pratt is like so fake. And it feels that way with Star-Lord. Like, there's something so fake about this girl, and I can't put my finger on it. I actually really like this look. This is gaggy. This is very gaggy. I know a lot of, like, especially in 2020, now 2025, probably when I'm posting this video, there's like big question about like, what does the modern man look like? I think this is a pretty good route to go. The expression on the field, it's actually really campy. It's hard to put my finger on it. I'm gonna say that Star-Lord is okay. Squirrel Girl. Now I will give her credit where it's due. This is one of those characters where I immediately was like, okay, I need to find a Wikipedia entry because who in the world is this and why is she in Marvel Rivals? Is she a Marvel character or did they just accidentally put her in this game? Because I don't know who she is, where she comes from. What really gets me is this costume here. I hate this costume. I don't like this. I don't like this. I like this one right here. And it seems like, no, the squirrel actually, oh, the squirrel does change. I think Squirrel Girl is gonna have her moment later, but not right now. When you play her, it's really fun, but you don't really see her bouncing around and being all squirrel-like as like the opponent. Like, she's one of those like Thor that gets like lost in the sauce. Squirrel Girl is okay. There's a lot of okays with the duelists, I guess. Spider-Man. I'm gonna say it. I'm kind of impressed mostly with the Spider-Man representation. I don't get into Spider-Man like that, but I'm not mad at seeing so much of it in there because they've done a good job with it. Now, Spider-Man has big shoes to fill. He is like, he's the it girl. I think that Spider-Man is actually done really well in this game. When you actually like play as Spider-Man, which is so interesting because like he is one of the characters that actually has a lot of games to reference, they do a really good job of making it feel like you're playing his game. One thing I do like is like this moment here. We're getting comedy from an overexposed queen. Yes, a lot of these costumes, if not all of them, reference something already, but I appreciate that they're referencing comedy because, like me, there's gonna be a lot of jaded nerds who are gonna come in and be like, oh God, here's Spider-Man again. But they give us something to laugh at. Like, I have this one fond memory of playing with a Spider-Man person in just a random solo queue, and they were using this costume and they were like being so cute and goofy in the lobby. Like, they were like sitting on top of like certain things that only certain characters with like mobility can get up there. And when I got up there, we were doing like emotes with each other. Like, Spider-Man feels charming, and I think that his character encourages that charm to come out of the player. I also think that his look on the field feels appropriate. It's like minimal, like how Spider-Man is, but when you do engage with him one-on-one, I immediately feel as though I'm like sucked into the story and narrative and the look and aesthetic of Spider-Man. So, Spider-Man, I'm actually gonna say is Girlypop. I love that twink. Winter Soldier. There's something that feels kind about him. I don't know where he comes from. I don't know what his story is. He just looks like a cyborg soldier man. So I immediately am like, okay, girl, the Department of Defense funded this guy. Every time he shows up on the field, he's there to fix something. Somebody is playing him because something needs to be fixed. There's a flanker that needs to be taken care of. There is a healer that needs to be taken care of or protected. Like, he just feels like the dad of the group. His looks, I'm like, he's just like a background character to me. I'm sorry, he seems so sweet, but that's just a skip. So let's talk about the princesses, which are the strategists. We all know that the support players, they're the princesses, and we love y'all for it. Everyone needs a princess. Let's start off with Rocket Raccoon. Rocket Raccoon being a strategist is actually really interesting, but also kind of fun. That alone makes this character really likable. I think like initially we would have thought that he would have been like the engineer DPS kind, but making him a background support it's like unexpected, and that immediately makes me drawn into what he can do and what he will do. I'm getting that cute little orb, like I will be like as Psylocke like across the room and suddenly I see an orb bouncing my way. I'm like, that Rocket Raccoon player, she sees me. I love Rocket Raccoon. He's a little raccoon, like as Mantis said, the cutest animal on earth. I like this Rocket Raccoon more. I think maybe like this is what he actually looks like in the comics, but I kind of like the cuter eyes with him. And I think that we're on a good track with the cute Santa hat winter moment. I'm kind of okay with Rocket Raccoon getting as many costumes as possible because he's a raccoon. He's really, really adorable, really, really cute. So Rocket Raccoon, I'm actually gonna put Rocket Raccoon in Girlypop. Mantis really surprised me. I think she surprised the girls. I think she surprised the boys. I think she surprised everybody. She came in and gave the fans exactly what they wanted. So fast. Mantis, come here.
Hi there.
Hi. Like, you see Hulk thinking he's gonna solo the two girls. Like, Mantis, what are you doing? She's ulting on him. Let me do it too. Something was in the air when Mantis, in that alternate dimension where all the Marvel characters are real, when she figured out that she was going to be in Marvel Rivals, she said, oh, this is my moment. And she's made it her moment. When Mantis is on the field, the game changes. There's a few characters where the game changes. Like Hawkeye, it immediately stops being fun when Hawkeye's on the field, right? When Scarlet Witch is on the field, it gets a little bit more slay. But when Mantis is on the field, the game changes. Not only mechanically, but aesthetically. Like, she's making her presence known to the enemy, to her team. She's inspiring you. She's healing you. She's getting that girl over there at the corner. Mantis is the moment. And let's get into the cosmetics. This skin right here, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. So it says first appears in Marvel Rivals Season 0. Is this like a custom skin? I love it. I love that they're keeping the bug motifs, the hair coming out of the back. Oh my goodness, like this is such a cool skin. She looks adorable here, but honestly, I like the green Mantis too. The default skin is also just like really good. In every aspect of the word, I think that Mantis has really solidified herself into the conversation, and she is mother for sure. She's mother because she's carrying you. She's mother because she looks good while she's doing it. Luna Snow, Miss K-pop diva. I actually think that a lot of people wanted me to get into this game because of Luna Snow. Like, people know I love K-pop. I love like hyper femme, you know, go all the way. If you're going to be girly pop, go all the way. And Luna Snow definitely goes all the way with it. I don't like her playstyle too much. It's all right, but it just doesn't resonate with me fully. I'll play her sometimes, but I'm not going to pick her first. That being said, when Luna Snow is on the field, like her character is all about crowd control. So like when she's on the field, you know she's there. Her ultimate literally has created its own like subculture of memes within like girly pop spaces. People are modding it to have like Le Seraphim's crazy. She's one of the girls. She's one of the girls. I mean, it's girly pop. It's girly pop. I don't necessarily like this look per se, but you can't tell me that that's not. Oh, look at how it refracts on the skirt. Yeah, I mean, do we have to have this conversation? I know the Luna Snow girls skip to this video. Hi, that's fine. I'm not judging you. I just like calling you out because it's fun. Let's say this one together. 1, 2, 3. Mother. Loki. Let's be Loki. Definitely a queen in his own right, but we already have some like boy queens. Maybe that's like a new word that I just made, but like Loki's definitely a boy queen. I don't know. I think what I'm waiting for with Loki is a look, because I mean, it definitely gives Loki for sure, right? And like the hair is gorgeous, like beautiful, beautiful, healthy hair. But I just have never really liked Loki's silhouette. I understand that it references certain lore, but we're talking about Girlypop here, and it doesn't give Girlypop to me. His presence on the field is definitely very known, what with the clones and like the healing fields and stuff like that. Like, you know, Loki's there. And I think it's really fun and tricky. But I think a character like this, especially a character who is a little bit exposed, we need like comedy. I want like a funny thing. Like, why didn't they give us a reindeer like look for Christmas or something like that? Oh, I actually really like these shoes. See, boy queen. Like, now that I look at this is actually like very, it's like minimalistic but very like handsome at the same time. I'm gonna put Loki in okay. Loki's okay, girl. Loki's okay. Jeff. I don't know where Jeff comes from. I did not know that this was a Marvel character, but I will say that Jeff has been selling currencies. How do I explain this? Sometimes when I talk about Pokemon, I'm like, girl, say what you want about this Pokemon, but she's been selling cards. She's been selling copies of games. She's been selling consoles. You know, that there's just some Pokemon that eat so much that they sell the product. Jeff is selling currencies. Jeff is selling microtransactions. This is just cutie pop, girly pop, cutie pop, girly pop. And then to give the girls what they need, come on, plushie moment. Like, and Jeff on the field is a really unique character. Like, he literally, I always say, hi puppy, to myself whenever I see a Jeff, because he literally does play like a cute little puppy. And I think that that is so cool that they were able to like show that in the game. Like, I've never seen a healer like that, and I love to see it. Very unique character. He does not get lost in the sauce. If anything, he has his own unique presence. Okay, I think this is another one. 1, 2, 3, mother. Jeff is definitely a mother character. I love Cloak and Dagger because Cloak and Dagger is doing two different things. Which one is it? Who's Cloak, who's Dagger? The girl, she gives Usagi Sailor Moon to me. Like, when you do her animation, her like shooting animation while she's standing, it's so camp, ballerina, Sailor Moon, magical girl is so pretty. Her skills, so pretty. Her animation, so graceful, so pretty. And when she changes to, oh, Cloak is like the guy because it's the Cloak and she's Dagger. Okay, so when you change to Cloak, it's a totally different story and it's menacing. It's like, what's cool is she's kind of like a more nuanced crowd control healer support type. I don't even want to call her a healer because she has so much offensive potential, but she's got her own crowd control, much like Luna Snow has, you know, like she's creating a domain. But I love to see somebody who knows the character enough to like flip it, because you feel the energy of this character when it's played well. When you see the enemy have a Cloak and Dagger and they're doing well, it's like Mantis. It's like a different story, and I love that. The other thing I love about it is it's showing all of like the 13, 14-year-old edgelords who are playing this on their PS5 because it's free to play and they love Marvel. It's showing them a healthy understanding and representation of like relationships. I'm not going to digress too much, but a lot of content on the internet is making it two boy versus girl, and I have seen like some comments being like, I want what they have. I want what they have. You should want what they have, because I'm just so sick of straight people making them hating each other my problem. Like, every time I get on the internet, it's men don't like women, women don't like men. Just stop dating. Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the cosmetics. Girl, this moment here, honey, I want what they have. This is also cute, but this like full white blue moment, I love that the girl gets to be the center of the show. I just believe that all women should honestly be in the spotlight. Like, they give visual just like naturally, and I love the story, the representation of this. This is just so, okay, I could go on and on and on about Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger, mother. Adam Warlock. Now, this is funny because he was in Guardians of the Galaxy, and I don't think that his character was represented well, because I finally started liking his character when I saw his representation in the game. Maybe it's because he's in the strategist category and they all feel like princesses, but he honestly just feels like the supportive gay man that's not toxic, and those are very, very hard to find. I like him. I think that the look is like really weird, really strange, but it works really well. His makeup, like the contour on his face, is just like so queeny. Like, you can't tell me that You can't tell me that that wasn't like blended to perfection before he came onto the field, right? The pose, like you see the pose, like the way that he's like sort of like standing on the hip. Yeah, he's just like really pretty, really fresh, really just like I don't know, put together. It's like not too much, it's not too little. It's just enough, it's just unique enough. Yeah, this version of him honestly looks better than in the movies. I like it. Clean, fresh, not too little, not too much. Very demure, very mindful. There's a lot of potential here. What with his color scheme and like the motifs that we have of him being just this golden man, we can have a lot of fun with it, but right now it's very demure, very mindful. When he's on the field, very demure, very mindful. If there's a good Warlock player, they're going to let you know that they're there because he has so much DPS potential. But it's just like he's like in the background, just kind of like looking around, making sure all the girls are having a good time. Like he very much gives like the DD, responsible gay friend. And I don't know, we need more of that these days. We need more of that these days. I'm going to put Adam Warlock in Girlypop. And that is the tier list. What do you think? We got a lot of okay, and I think that that's a pretty good testament to the art direction involved in this game. I mean, like there's a lot of potential with a lot of the heroes, and I'm excited to see the new costumes coming out. I'm excited to see the new heroes that we might get. I'm a big fan of like hero shooters and hero PvP. The only thing better than that is one with their own character customization that like really lets you go in, but we haven't gotten quite there yet. I do think in the future we will get a game where we can create our own character and just sort of like put a job or a class on top of it, but I digress. I think that this game is really good. I'm so excited to see where the future of it goes because it's got a lot of support, it's got a lot of players, it's got good direction, and I'm really excited for the costumes. I love the costumes. I love seeing costumes. Even for games that I don't play, I love to just look at the costumes. Whatever you guys are up to next, I hope it goes by super, super well. I hope that your new year is starting off strong, and if it's not, I hope that in the next 5 minutes, something in the universe switches, and then this new year is going to become fantastic for you. Thank y'all all so much for a really, really great time last year. If you're making it this far, thank you so much for a really fantastic year last year. I'm so glad to be able to touch base with you. I hope that you've been doing well, and I hope that this next year is going to be even better for both of us. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye!